Welcome back here to episode 2 on the Flying Tigers podcast, Tales from Tigertown. The voice of your Flying Tigers, Aaron Arnstein, along with Group Sales Manager and Kevin Piotrzkowski. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
Yeah, now I want to get right into things. As a Group Sales Manager, kind of what does that role entail on your side of things?
Yeah, so it entails anything that entails a group. It's going to be community, it's going to be youth, it's going to be adults, it could be a company, it could be just an organization. We have a number of different ways we try to incorporate the community, and I think that's the big part with the groups is finding ways to allow our local community, not just in Lakeland, but in Polk County, to come on out to the ballpark, to showcase who they are, to showcase what they do, but also bring everyone together. It's baseball. It's an awesome time to come on out.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious. You've been with the Flying Tigers now. This is your first full season, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been working in sales with a couple of different organizations inside sports. Kind of what stands out to you about doing sales within this Flying Tigers organization?
I think the biggest thing is everybody's pulling on the same rope. Everybody's looking at, hey, what can we do, not just from a community, meaning what's going on in the city of Lakeland and the surrounding area, but people that are just here at the organization, whether it's on the baseball side, whether it's on marketing, whether in the ticketing office. Everybody's looking at what can we do to get everybody out and provide that great experience that's going to get people coming on back.
Yeah, what are kind of some of those examples you mentioned, like kind of that collaborating with marketing, whatever kind of sector it is? What is that collaboration like to make sure you guys are all on the same page and trying to get people out to the ballpark?
Yeah, I think some of the biggest things are some of our newer initiatives this year, where Tuesday and Thursday, we've started up our community nights where we're highlighting whether it's an industry or an area in the Polk County geographic area and getting them on out and just providing a sense of, hey, this is community right here. We want you to be a part of our family at the ballpark. But then also on Wednesdays where we're able to highlight a nonprofit, we're able to highlight a community partner that's really doing great things and letting them say, hey, what is your message? And I think everybody's looking at, hey, how can we best showcase this? Whether it's what's the production going up on the video board, or is it just saying, thank you for coming out. Welcome out. We'd love to see you guys again. So just everybody doing it what we can together.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because even from my perch in the broadcast booth, when you put names up on the scoreboard saying thank you for coming out, I look down in the fans and the groups that they really love that type of stuff. So small things like that can really enhance the fan experience.
100%. I think it's all about memories, and I think we're in the memory-making business. I think most people that are in sports have some memories from when they might have been a kid going out to a game, whether it was a minor league baseball game or any other event. So I think whatever we can do to get those memories and kind of make those is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I think Zach Burick, our first guest last podcast, mentioned the same thing about how we're in the memory-making business. Now, going back to kind of your childhood, maybe what are some of your memories growing up, whether it was baseball or other sports that kind of, helped you grow into the role you're in now and something you keep in the back of your mind as group sales manager?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was me growing up. There was a minor league team right near me. It was a AAA club, and I got to participate on the field for one event. It didn't go great for me, but I still remember it to this day, and I must have been 7 years old, so 20-something years later, it's still a memory, and I remember going down there and being nervous in the tunnel, getting to go out, and everybody saying, oh, no, you're going to do great. It's going to be a ton of fun, and hey, I'm still remembering it now. So I think that's definitely one of the big things, but really just sports in general. It's great to find a way, hey, interact with an athlete there like we get to do with our baseball buddy or any of our other youth organizations that come on out. You get to see people that they may not be the name that you think of as your hero, but you see them on the field doing something, hey, I want to do that. It's inspirational. So I think things like that, it's across the board for us here.
Now, working in sales, specifically sports, what is your favorite thing about the job that you're in?
I think it's I get to work with people, whether it's my team specifically here, whether it's everyone in all their other departments, or I feel like I've emphasized community quite a few times here, but that's really what it is. It's getting to be a part of all these great organizations that we have in the area, whether it's youth sports, whether it's businesses, whether it's nonprofits. I think that's where I get the most fulfillment from, is you get to really see these people grow, not just in the groups that may be coming out, but also grow up as families. You get to see people like, hey, your kid was how tall last time we saw you, and now you guys are here, and hey, how'd baseball or how'd All-Stars go? So you really get to build those relationships and learn about people, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's great. Now, to interested, whether it's a family or a group, like a business, what would your message be to them for interested groups or individuals that are interested in coming out and seeing a Flying Tigers game this summer?
I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a better environment to bring your family out, to bring your friends out, to get that affordable, family safe fun that's going to be local to Polk County. We are a Polk County organization, and we love expanding outside of that, but we are right in the middle of I-4. We're in a great location to reach, whether it's a business that's over in the Tampa and Orlando area, or if they're more local. There's a number of different ways to come on out to. Our weekends are great days for the families with Family Fun Fridays, Saturday giveaways, or if we're doing kids running the bases on Sundays. So there's really something each day of the week that can be a great time to come on out to the ballpark.
Yeah, it's great. You mentioned that just the centrally located between about an hour outside of both Tampa and Orlando, kind of that smack dab in the middle. It certainly is. It's a great location.
100%. And hey, I know we got Disney on one side, and then you got other things going down towards Tampa, but I really think it's an amazing thing that we have here. I think more people are finding that out, and we have spring training, but also we have our Flying Tigers team too, and they did a great job last year. It's definitely awesome to see a team go out there and perform, but we also got a ton of things that we're adding to the ballpark, whether it's all of our giveaways, whether it's just welcoming people on out. Hey, if you got family that's in the area, I think it's really the best location to come to.
100% agree. We're winning on and off the field, as I like to say. Well, Kevin, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back in a moment for a very special guest, Malachi Witherspoon, one of the Tigers' top prospects, coming up next here on Tales from Tigertown. Welcome back here on episode 2 of Tales from Tigertown. Aaron Arnstein alongside one of the Flying Tigers' top prospects and one of the Tigers' top pitching prospects, and Malachi Witherspoon. Malachi, really excited. I've been looking forward to this for some time, so thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it's interesting because you have an incredible story, kind of going away from the baseball field. That's what we're trying to do here at Tales from Tigertown. It starts with your upbringing, and you really had a much different experience than probably most of your teammates and most people in professional baseball. Can you kind of give people an idea of what it was like growing up in the Witherspoon family?
Yeah, I mean, try to make it as short and summarized as possible. Single mom, single parent household. A lot of heads in the house. I mean, at one point, it was 8 people in an apartment, 3 or 4 bedroom apartment, with 3 or 4 of them being in diapers at a time. So I had to kind of step up and be kind of a father figure to my little brother, my niece, and my nephews since I was 12 years old. So I probably changed more diapers than most men have in their entire lifetime.
I've never changed one.
Yeah, I know. I've changed 4 bodies worth of diapers. I mean, I'm actually pretty good at it now. But no, it was really just my mom trying to look out for us, keep us busy, give us things to do. She knew we were athletic. She would take us on all the fun runs, like we do the 5Ks. Like we did one. It was like the color run where you get a bunch of paint balls thrown at you, whatever. It was just a little fun time. But it was always an athletic family. My mom was a swimmer. She ran a lot. My sister did gymnastics. Me and my brother played every sport you can think of. It was definitely a hard time because it was obviously just my mom. So when we narrow it down to baseball, it would be me and my brother staying at the Motel 6, the lesser cigarette smelling, like just riddled hotels with people that don't look too friendly. And all my buddies are staying at the Hampton Inn, all that kind of nicer stuff. But at the same time, me and my brother babysitting my little brother while my mom's doing Uber Eats or DoorDash, or she might have been doing Uber, like in itself. She's just trying to make ends meet no matter what, but she's also doing her best to make sure me and my brother are staying busy, still doing what we love, which is baseball and hanging out with our buddies. But definitely she's the one that's made everything possible. I mean, without her, me and my brother, we would not be where we are now, and we're just happy to be able to finally be fortunate enough to give back to her and all the sacrifices that she's made for our family.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that's something I really want to touch on before I get to your brothers, your mother, and everything she did. You mentioned just working on all different odds and ends, all sorts of jobs to really help make ends meet and get you and Kyson and your younger brother to where they are today. When did you kind of realize what she was doing, as she put it, a quote-unquote legal hustler, that she was different than other moms, and she was like the super mom, and she wasn't normal?
I mean, looking around, like everywhere I was at, every team we were playing at, there was no other kids like me and my brother. Like most of the guys that we played with, they had 2 parents, they had loving relationships and all that kind of stuff. It was very obvious. My mom didn't sugarcoat anything. It wasn't like a secret. She prepared us for the real world, I would say. She didn't sugarcoat it to say like, Yeah, like you're not like other kids. Like she just said it straight up like that. You're not like other kids. You're not as fortunate as other kids. You have to work harder than other kids. You will have to make your own way in this world, and you'll have to figure it out by yourself because, I mean, simply being a black kid to a single white mom isn't exactly the greatest route, and it's not the easiest route. I mean, there's been times where I've heard about it, where she's had to hear about it in a negative way on the field, off the field, in whatever respective sport. I mean, she told me that life was going to be hard unless I found my way, and I had to definitely had to grow up a little bit quicker than other kids. Realizing I was babysitting kids at 12 years old while my buddies were going to the water parks and go karting, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I can't do that. I got to stay and I got to watch my little brother. I got to clean the house. I got to help mom get ready for her work. She's got to keep her car clean. Me and my brother would be at the car wash every couple days, scrubbing mom's car. Had to tow just so she can look good, get the 5-star rating on Uber. So it was very obvious. She didn't sugarcoat it, and I'm really thankful for it. I'm happy she definitely prepared me for the real world as great as anybody could have.
Yeah, and when it comes to that, in what ways do you think that helped prepare you to have success in not just life, but also on the baseball field and going forward?
Yeah, my brother and I were definitely more the talented few on the field at all times, but off the field, we understood that like physical abilities, it's there, but off the field, you have to make your way as well. Like it's not going to be easy. You can't just show up and be talented. Like you can't just go to the field. You're going to hit really good. Me and my brother, we were good as kids. Off the field, it was like, you're not just going to get away with it. You're not going to be handed this. Like she ended up one day. I remember she just said, "Hey, you got a job interview at McDonald's." I'm like, "What, McDonald's? Like, are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, I get ready. Like 20 minutes, we're going." And I ended up having to work at McDonald's for my whole junior year. I ended up having to coach soccer, which was the easier job. I definitely coached like 5-year-old soccer, but it was me being 15 or 16, working a job, being forced to work a job, and I didn't really appreciate it or think of it at the time. I know me and her got into an argument saying I didn't think I needed to have the job, and it was eye-opening. She's like, "You don't realize how hard it is for me to make ends meet with two boys that eat as much as me and my brother do,
Yeah.
plus a little one and an older sister that has her own set of mouths to feed in one house." So it was definitely very eye-opening whenever she had those sit-downs with me.
Yeah, and you mentioned, having a couple of jobs yourself and now coming into, going into professional baseball and really having like life-changing type of money when you were drafted and signed. What did that mean to the family to be able to get that after everything that you went through growing up? You and, of course, your twin brother, who we'll get into, Kyson. What did that mean to have just this influx of money after having such a tough childhood?
Yeah, it really, I mean, I can't even say it's sunk in yet. Like, I vividly remember the first time I checked my bank account and I saw a lot more comments than I've ever seen, and I'm like, wow, I don't think my family's ever had this money. I've probably been closer to having this much money in debt was what we've had. So it was very much a shock to see, and I was very, very appreciative. I mean, I had to thank God for it, thank my mother for it, just for giving me the passion and the drive to even get to this point. But knowing we were able to finally give back to my mom, she still works to this day. I mean, you can't get her off her feet. You can't get her from getting behind the wheel. She drives to North or South Carolina to Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville to Lakeland whenever she can, just to watch me and my brother play. So like she's never taken her foot off the gas no matter what, and that just shows how hard of a worker she is, and that definitely has passed on because I don't think me and my brother would have gotten this far if we weren't anywhere near as hardworking as she was. But finally being able to pay off my mother's debts, I can thank my brother for that. He stepped up. He helped out my mom. He made quite the chunk of change. Wiped my mom and my sister's slates clean. They had a rough go of it trying to make their way, and he wiped it all away. Mom finally got a new car after putting up
The Toyota Sienna, right?
Yeah, 275,000 miles on that car, driving from each end of the country and back. That I can't explain how much that means to me.
Yeah, and you mentioned your brother Kyson, not just having a twin brother, but a brother you were drafted in the second round. He was drafted in the first round by the Red Sox organization, and you mentioned going to Greenville. He plays in Greenville at the high A level, and of course you here in Lakeland, the single A level. I know your mom also moved to Oklahoma when you guys went out to college, correct?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. Now, when it comes to your brother Kyson, what is that dynamic like? You talk about kind of a shared struggle. He grew up the same way as you. How does that kind of help forge an even tighter bond between you two now to today?
Yeah, I can't exaggerate enough how much of a blessing it was. I wish everybody could grow up with a twin that had as much drive and passion as they did, and anything growing up. I mean, playing video games, it was a competition. Walking outside, I mean, we'd play catch in baseball. Whoever could throw it the hardest, whoever would make the most catches in a row, throws in a row, all that kind of stuff. Everything was a competition. Like, even if it made 0 sense for it to be competition, it was a competition. So we would be the ones begging mom to stay a little bit longer at the field, stay a little bit longer at the cages, stay a little bit longer anywhere at the pool, whatever we were doing. It was just a constant driving force between me and him, just never in a negative way, but we just wanted to get better, and it was very easy for us to lean on each other to get ourselves better because I see his success, I want to be more successful. He sees my success, he wants to be even more successful. So it's like it's a constant one-upping of each other in every aspect of our lives that drove us to be where we are now.
Yeah,
100%.
that is great. Now, you go back to your childhood. When did you guys kind of realize that, you were different, and then you had kind of the just success or at the potential to have success? When did that kind of click in for you and your brother?
Yeah, I would say we were always more the athletic and talented pair on the field. But it comes to a point in like every career where you realize you're not exactly as great as you think you are. You get a nice like reality check, gut check. You see kids are growing up a little bit more. You're not the biggest kid. You're not the fastest kid anymore. You're not the hardest throwing kid anymore. And that was really eye opening. Our junior year of high school, I would say. Neither him and I started pitching like completely seriously until we graduated high school. So I was a catcher, he was a shortstop. We were pretty good. We were varsity kids. We would have a respectable batting average. We'd come in and pitch whenever it was needed, but it was never anything like mind blowing. And we'd see all these guys we're playing against, like some dudes are hitting balls farther than I've ever seen, throwing harder than I've ever seen, and I'm like, I really want to be that. And I know my brother also wants to be the best on the field. So we asked mom, like, hey, we really, 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 really need to get better. We need to get bigger. We need to get faster. We need to get stronger. And she said, say no more. We got a gym membership at a bodybuilding powerlifting place in Jacksonville called Hyperswole. And in between our junior year, I could say for myself exactly, I gained about 30 pounds.
Wow.
From my junior year to senior year. And I went from throwing 88 miles an hour my junior year, which is still relatively good. Like, it's good. People don't throw that hard in high school most of the time.
Yeah.
Then I go to 30 pounds heavier, 30 pounds stronger, and I'm throwing 96 miles an hour. Quite the jump. My brother, he wasn't as large as I was. I was a catcher. He was a shortstop, so he's a little bit more leaned out, definitely quicker, better hands, all that kind of stuff. He went from throwing maybe lower, mid-80s, then he's 170 pounds, not the biggest dude, but he's ripped, shredded. He's throwing 94 coming in from shortstop. So I would say hitting the weight room and having that discipline, and my mom, I can't thank her enough. She would wake us up the craziest breakfast ever, like thousands calorie breakfast. We'd have eggs, yogurt, different kind of pre-made, like Jimmy Dean meals, like with bacon, eggs, sausage, all that kind of stuff. And she would send us to school with like a protein bar, a couple protein bars, something to make sure we were keeping our weight up, making sure we were staying in that routine. So all the breakfast she'd made, all the meals she would make, the grocery runs that she had to make that definitely cost way too much. And the gym membership that I also know cost a pretty penny because I had to go back there this off season. It's not cheap. It was just that discipline between her to be able to get us through that and give us the opportunity to go to the gym, eat what we need to do to fuel what we know we want to do with our bodies. It was great for her to be able to do that for us.
Your mom, not only is she a mom, she was a nutritionist,
Yep.
a strength coach.
Everything.
I'm sure she also probably helped you guys
Everything.
in
she
baseball on the
coached
field.
us in like basketball and soccer
And
growing
basketball.
up as well.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, soccer.
she would be the one teaching us how to dribble. She would take us to the camps and she would take us back to the park. She'd like, okay, right hand this, right hand or left hand, whatever. Like she would help us any way she could. I mean, if she didn't know, she would learn. Like that's the kind of woman she was. She doesn't know it all, but if there's something to learn, she would be the first one to get it there for us.
It's really interesting because you mentioned you were a catcher, for at least half of your more than half of your high school career. So when did it kind of click for you? Like, hey, I have a shot on the mound. What was that conversation like with your high school coach?
Yeah, I would say it came that junior summer. Junior summer leading into sophomore year, I wasn't as heavy as I was. Like I was still in the mix of getting bigger. I was lifting, starting to get into it, and I'm throwing 91 in summer. I remember hitting 91, and it was either 91 or 93 in a tournament. It was either summer or fall. I'm like, wow, I'm kind of like, I'm letting it go. People don't throw this hard. Wow. And I finally get in touch with my now agent, then advisor, Tom O'Connell. He's telling me, like, dude, you're going to be pitcher. Like, it was very obvious, very cut and dry. I could get invited to all these camps. 99% of them are as a pitcher, 2% of them as a hitter. I'm like, okay, it kind of balances out. Makes sense to let the catching go. It was my passion. It was what I wanted to do. It's what I wanted to be in the big leagues. But when you throw 96 miles an hour as a high school pitcher without any true pitching coaching, like pitching coaching, hitting coaching was very expensive. Like, to take a lesson in that, me and my brother learned everything we did from throwing in the backyard and doing flips and BP to ourselves in cages. I could thank our younger coaches, Coach Robbie, Coach Chris, and Coach Larry. They gave us a really solid foundation. But when it came to outgrowing that and past the travel ball stage, when we get into high school, it was definitely me and him bouncing off each other. Like, do this, throw this grip, think this thought whenever you're swinging the bat. Like, me and my brother taught each other almost everything we knew up until we got to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to be able to get as good as we did just by ourselves. Like, it was just an insane amount of effort through trial and error to get us out like as good as we could have been at a high school. But that was definitely when we figured out we really have a shot at this college and this draft stuff.
That's incredible to think that you and your brother were like your own best coach, and you were able to coach yourself up to become two top draft picks. Wow.
Yeah, I always tell people, and it's been joked about in my Oklahoma dugout back in a couple years ago and last year. They called me the baseball dad. Whenever Kyson was pitching, I'd be pacing the dugout. I mean, it makes me more nervous than myself pitching. I'd rather be pitching every day than watch him pitch because it gets my heart going. It makes me nervous. It makes me like I'm like, I know what he's got to do. If he needs to make an adjustment, I'm the first one to yell at him. I'm like, dude, you got to do this. Like, because I played catch with him my whole life. I know him better than he knows himself sometimes, I would say, and vice versa. He knows exactly what I need to hear in the moment, what I need to do in the moment. So it's very much like seeing myself, and I know exactly what he needs to do. And he could say the same. He knows exactly what I need to do, and I want the best for him. He wants the best for me. It's just all healthy competition, trying to make each other better, trying to help each other in the moment.
And speaking of that, now that you're both in pro ball, what are those conversations like in terms of watching each other's starts, or at best you can, and then also kind of giving each other feedback on that?
Yeah. The worst part about it is I can't sit down and actually watch him play. Obviously, we got 6 games a week each, and he's on a Sunday schedule, so early games, I'm watching early games, so I can't really get my phone out and talk to him too often or watch him too often. But definitely more of the conversation comes through Xbox. Like, we play Xbox together. I might get a call here and there, but it's mainly whenever we're playing the game. It's just casual conversation, like, I was pitching against Astros guys or whatever it might have been, and I feel like I just needed to be a little bit better with my run game. They were just running over me, and I'm like, I look back, and I'm like, he's at runners at first base. He's probably about a 1.4 seconds to home with a runner on first. I'm like, can't do that. Got to jab step, slide step, whatever else need to be. You got to land your heater more. You got to throw your splitter in better pitchers counts. Like, it's just more of a leverage situation. Like, we just talk numbers, bouncing off each other like that. It's never like a lecture or anything. It's not as serious as people might expect it to be. But we're just playing Rocket League, and we're talking how it is. We're playing Valorant, MLB The Show. It's really just a hangout, casual conversation. Like, I think I needed to do this. I did this really good. He thinks he needs to do this, and he thinks he also did this really good. So it's just an easy conversation always, trying to figure out what he needs to do, what he might need to hear to get himself better. And it's very nice to hear somebody like reinforce, like, like, I've got it. I do this great. I might need to do this a little bit better, but coming from him, it means a lot.
Yeah. Now, we talked about your twin brother. I also want to mention your younger brother as well. I mean, you talk about role models. To be a kid who wants to grow up playing baseball and he sees 2 top draft picks as his older brothers, what does that mean to you guys? Or what do you mean to him, just being a role model for him and giving him somebody to look up to?
Yeah, I mean, he's grown up as close or similar as a way that me and my brother did. So he's been swimming, playing basketball, football, soccer, baseball. Obviously, he's in Cooperstown.
Oh, really?
Trying to get that going. That was a great experience, I remember. So I'm happy he's able to do that now, 12 years old. I mean, I don't think I could have wished for brothers like me and my brother are to him, like me and Kyson are to my little brother. I think he's in a great spot. I mean, he's got everything in front of him. He's got the truth being, I can do what I put my mind to. Like, it is living proof between him and his brother. So I wish I could be that role model for everybody, but I'm very happy he was able to see it firsthand. He was at all our practices. He was at all the games he had to be. He was the kid messing around in the dirt on the baseball fields, but he saw it all. He saw the grind. He saw the practices. He saw the sweat, tears, all of it. So I think that definitely gave him some more fuel in his fire to be as good as he can. I know he doesn't have a twin brother. He grew up with his nephews. His nephews were near him, almost like brothers. But he's a couple years older, so he's never really had the twin on the same team. So he's kind of had to pave his own way. So it's definitely a different kind of a challenge for him. Not being able to have his own brother, his own like built-in best friend everywhere he is. So he definitely has a lot more going for him than he thinks. He's very talented. I mean, he can be whatever he wants to be if he puts his mind to it. And he's finally getting, like, it's very obvious he's got a little bit more fire underneath him. Getting older, he sees what the game is supposed to look like. He knows what he's supposed to do. Pitching wise, he's getting lessons. He's trying to be the best he could be. So I know that me and my brother did good, and we definitely gave him as good as example as we could, and I hope the best for him.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, Malachi, I just want to thank you again so much for the time. You're so articulate, and your story is incredible.
Thank you.
I wanted to get you out, get that out there before you move on up and go on to greener pastures. So thanks so much for taking the time,
Absolutely.
and we really appreciate it.
Yes, no problem. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
So we will be back in a couple weeks for episode 3 of Tales from Tigertown. Again, we want to thank everybody behind the scenes, especially Brandon Walters, of course, Malachi Witherspoon. But saying so long from Tales from Tigertown, I'm Aaron Arnstein, and we'll see you next time.